Hey there plant lovers, welcome back to my channel, and this will be your new spot for anything green and leafy. My name is Sierra. Today's video is extra special because we are going to be going through the ultimate plant care guide for beginners. If you're new to plant parenthood, this video is right up your alley, and well, let's get to it. The first step to creating your indoor garden is to think about a few things such as lighting, space, humidity, which humidity can depend on where you're at and things like that. Some beginner-friendly options are going to be things like the golden pothos, air plants like these ones, or a snake plant, and those are just some of the options. So a lily plant, a peace lily plant, really doesn't need too much sun. It's kind of more of like an indirect sun. It really loves not the bright sun. So any place that's in like a window, like by a window, by a door, that's kind of placed outside of the way, such as where this is. The door's like right over there. So that plant's right there. That's one of the best places to keep those. So for like this aloe plant here, we're gonna put that out by the windowsill. So the windowsill is going to be the best place for that because it's going to have a full sun. So full sun is about 6+ hours of direct bright sunlight. So the air plants, such as these ones here, are going to want indirect sun outside of a window. Sometimes if you're at a windowsill that has it doesn't have sun the whole time throughout the day is really good, but usually if it's away from a window, kind of on like the outskirts of it, it does a lot better. And then for the golden pothos, as well as the heartleaf philodendron, definitely said that wrong, but I never say it right. They need indirect light as well, so they need like a bright indirect light. So indirect light is in any place that's kind of like outside of a window. It's kind of like either like somewhere where the light will shine through the trees, or it comes through a windowsill and it's sitting on like the ground by it, kind of towards the corner of a window. So it kind of just depends on where your house is or where your windows are, but it's usually in a place that's not, you can't see the direct sun rays on it. So that one's going to be for both of those. So for a snake plant, any light level is actually going to work. They do grow better in like a brighter light setting, but the leaves might burn with that. So keep in mind that when you think about it, but most of the time they can kind of thrive in any kind of light. So when watering your plant, you want to check the soil moisture. So you can get one of the soil moisture indicators that can tell you how moist the soil is, or you can just place your finger down and a few centimeters or so and just feel how wet the soil is, and wet or dry, and that can help you figure out if you need it to be watered. So all plants need to be watered differently. So some of the ways that we can water them, so an aloe vera usually only needs to be watered about every 14 days or 2 weeks during the summer. During the spring, winter, fall months, they only need to be watered about once a month, or 26, 28 days-ish. So they're very easy to take care of in the winter as well. For the peace lily, the golden pothos, and the heartleaf philodendron, those only need to be watered about every 21 days so every 3 weeks or so for the spring, fall, and winter months. And then during the summer, when it's more warm or humid, they need to be watered about every 5 to 7 days, so only once a week. The snake plant during the winter can go for about a month, 28 to 30 days, without needing any water. During the fall months, the winter months, spring months, things like that, they only need to be watered about every 2 weeks, every 14 days. And then the air plant is where it's a little bit different. So for the air plant, they need to be soaked. They can either be soaked for 20 minutes, which I will have a video clip showing that in just a moment. So the one thing that is a little bit different is the air plant. So those you can actually mist with a spray bottle and water and just mist the leaves over. And usually you have to do that a little more frequently. It kind of just depends on the air plant. But you just kind of have to look and see if the leaves seem like they're dried out or not, and that's how you decide whether or not you need to mist them again. Or you can soak the air plant, which is what I'm going to show here. So this one, I did it with fertilizer, so that's how you fertilize it, and that's usually once a month. But you just get a bowl of water and you soak it. You soak the plants in it for about 20 minutes, and then you let them air dry with their roots sticking up so there's not root rot. So my main tip is going to be that plants can be different depending on the atmosphere and how fast they absorb the water. So just make sure you always check the soil moisture before you see how much to water your plant, just because you can't overwater and underwater them. And now on to fertilizer. So for fertilizing your plants, your plants need food too. So to do this, you can use a liquid fertilizer. So I often use the Miracle-Gro indoor plant food. So that's the one I tend to use. And this, you just follow the instructions that are on the back of it, and it literally tells you how to do it. So it's the easiest thing. Use a balanced liquid fertilizer, often during the spring or summer months. But remember that less is often more when it comes to fertilizer, just so you don't hurt your plant. So you always need to follow the instructions that are on your fertilizer. And so you can also use fertilizer sticks. I personally don't. I've heard they're very good, but I just tend to use the liquid fertilizer that I have. But there's also, in the Miracle-Gro, there is a fertilizer stick pack that you can put in there, and you also just follow the directions on that. So it's super simple. And then, so for the aloe vera and the snake plant that we were talking about earlier, you just need to fertilize that usually about once every spring. For the peace lily, the golden pothos, and the heartleaf philodendron, once a month during the month of May, September, and June. And then during the months of July and August, you water them about every 3 weeks. For the air plant, you actually fertilize it by your soaking method, so you can do that about once a month if you would like. You don't have to, or you can mist it with a Miracle-Gro. The Miracle-Gro, the one that I'm using for the fertilizer liquid, it actually has a plant food mist option as well, so you can get that as well and just mist the air plants if you would like. One of the things that I talked about earlier is going to be the plant identifier app. So it's the Picture This app, and that app can actually help you with the leaves, because you can just take a picture of it. It's called Diagnose, and you actually just take a picture of it and it tells you what's wrong with it. And with that, it tells you how to fix it as well. So it's a really good resource to use. So this is the Picture This app, and this is what I use for everything, all of my plant related things. So the first thing I go to is the Identify, and that is you can just take a picture of a plant and it will tell you what kind of plant that is. The next thing we're going to go to is the Diagnose, and this one you just go and take a picture of your plant like I'm going to show here, and it actually tells you what is wrong with it, and so like this one, it's thrips when it comes up, and you can also like go to symptom and treatments and scroll down, and it'll tell you everything you need to know and how to fix it. The next thing is going to be the reminders. So on the reminders, it shows all the plants that are in my garden that I've added that are going to be needing watered, and on here I show you how to add a reminder. So for this, I did the fertilizer, and you just hit add reminder. I fertilized it that day, so I added that reminder, and it's that easy. Then you can go to my garden and you can see all of the plants that you have in your garden, and you can see which ones that you have a reminder set for or don't. And there you have it, the ultimate plant care guide for beginners. And remember, each plant is unique, so feel free and don't be afraid to adapt and learn with your plant as you go. And if you found this guide helpful, feel free to leave a like or subscribe to the channel to see more plant videos. And if you have any questions at all, just leave them down for me in the comments below. Or if you want me to do any other kind of plant care videos, or if you have any other tips. Until next time, keep your plants happy and thriving.